Strong boundaries will help you and your sweetheart feel safer with each other. It will calm you down, and it allows you to fall more deeply in love. It sounds ironic, I know, because having a boundary to connect you, but let me explain. And in this series, we're going to talk about how building fences in your marriage will actually draw you closer together. Let me give you an example of what it feels like when the boundaries are a little flimsy. Hey, you want to watch a movie tonight? Sure. What do you want to watch? Oh, I don't care. You pick. Okay, let's watch Braveheart. Braveheart is so violent. I hate that movie. You said you didn't care. Right? Can you feel that bubbling tension? Let's compare that to the conversation that has a little bit more boundaries. Super simple, right? Friday night. Hey, you want to watch a movie? Sure. What do you want to watch? I think I want to watch Sense and Sensibility. That is not what I had in mind. Could we watch Braveheart tonight and then I'll watch Sense and Sensibilities with you next time? Which scenario helps you feel calmer and more hopeful about the relationship? For me, it's that second one, because in the second scenario, each person is asking for what they want, stating it clearly, and expecting their sweetheart to agree or disagree with kindness and equal clarity. When you have clear boundaries, it allows you to relax in your relationship. But when you're trying to please your sweetheart and you're walking around on eggshells a little bit, can you feel how the tension in your body rises and you're ungrounded? You may be trying to be nice and agreeable, but when you are doing something you don't want, it sneaks out that side door. We've talked about that before. So let's examine how clear boundaries sets you up for success to deal with the inevitable conflicts that arise in marriage. Why do we send mixed signals, and how does a boundary help? Step one is to be really clear about why we don't want to set a clear boundary. The first reason is we want to be nice. We want to avoid conflict. The second reason is because we have this fantasy about how life should work, but we don't want the responsibility that goes with creating that life. And all that mixes up together, and we send mixed signals to our sweetheart. When we can get clear about what exactly we want and exactly how we want to be treated, most of the work for setting boundaries is already done. The problem is that's a big job. Can I give you an example from my life? I am a saver. My husband is a spender. I would say things like, I want to save money so we have a vacation fund so we don't overexpend when we're on vacation. My husband was completely agreeable to this idea in principle. That's a great idea. And he went along with it every single time until he wanted to spend money. And then that idea went out the window and we went out for dinner or we bought something fun. For me, sending mixed signals about that vacation fund, but then saying yes to going out to dinner, was a great big payoff for me. Number one, I got to look like the together pious person who had a plan. And I got to blame Dave every time that he suggested we go out for dinner. Notice your payoff. Another way that I sent mixed signals is that I had this secret savings account. And when Dave would spend money on something, I would secretly cover the balance in the checking account. This is a huge payoff for me again because I look like the grown-up who's always covering for his mistakes. I could shame him, I could blame him, and I got to look like the woman who had it all together, yet I still got to go out for dinner or benefit from the toy that got purchased. Do you see how I didn't have a clear boundary about that vacation account and staying with our goals? I didn't want that responsibility. So instead, I sent mixed signals. Try this. Number 1, identify the situation where you need a strong boundary. If you're confused, notice where you have your biggest arguments. Likely there is a boundary hidden in there. Number 2, look for your payoff. What are you getting out of that boundary that isn't respected? And number 3, search for your mixed signals. Now that you can see the payoff you get for having a vague or flimsy boundary, notice the mixed signals you are sending. Stay tuned, because next time we'll talk about why you're entitled to have a strong boundary in your relationship. I'll see you then. This video is part of a 6-step series, Improving Your Marriage Communication. Make sure you have access to the full course in my virtual classroom. The link's right below.